I wonder if we're streaming. Let's see. Let's just have a look, see if there's anything on there. Have a look, see if there's anything on there. Okay, seem to be live. Okay, seem to be live. I'll just mute that. Just give it a couple of minutes. Oh, it's warm today. Oh. And I'm just going to check my voice here. Is the frequency in use, please? Mike 0, Oscar, Papa X-rays. Mike 0, Oscar, Papa X-rays. Mike 0. Seems to be working. Hi, Andrew. Thought I would got the house to myself, so I thought I'd have a quick play on HF. Although I do see that there's a contest on, which is maybe not great. But never mind. We'll push on. I'm on 17 here. And there we go. We should have the radio now being heard. Let's just tidy up OBS here. Okay. I'm just trying to get the chat so it's showing. There we go. Pop out chat. That's better. And I'll be able to see that. Right, let's see what's going on 17. I've got my voice gear set up here, so that should actually help save the vocal cords a little bit. Oh, hello Indonesia. It must be yeah, it must be evening time for you. So maybe tell me how many, I don't know how many hours you're in front of GMT, but I'm guessing 6 or 8 hours in front. So, 18130, let's try this. Is the frequency in use, please? Mike 0, Oscar, Papa X-ray. So about 400 watts going out there from the ACOM, and that's into the hex beam. So the hex beam's pointing towards Europe at the minute, so we'll try that just now. And we can spin it round in a little bit, if need be. Try again. Is the frequency in use, please? Mike 0, Oscar, Papa X-ray. There's a funny beep. I don't know if you guys can hear that. I think it's a flaw of N1MM. CQ. Mike 0, Oscar, Papa X-ray. Mike 0, Oscar, Papa X-ray. CQ, over. CQ. Mike 0, Oscar, Papa X-ray. Mike 0, Oscar, Papa X-ray. CQ, over.
Oscar Echo 5, Charlie Sierra Papa. Oscar Echo 5, Charlie Sierra Papa.
Yeah, good afternoon, Oscar Echo 5, Charlie Sugar Papa. I'll give you a report on the next over, but you were sounding good. Name is Colin, Charlie Oscar Lima, Italy, November, and I am not too far from Edinburgh. Back to you, Oscar Echo 5, Charlie Sugar Papa, MM0 OPX.
Oscar Papa X-ray, Oscar Echo 5, Charlie Sierra Papa. Good afternoon, Colin. My name is Chris Charlton, Hotel Radio near Sugar. This is near Salzburg. Sugar Salt. Bravo, United, Romeo Golf. I hope to see a couple of times. Oscar Papa X-ray.
Yeah, okay, Chris, you were in and out. I've got some QSB there. I didn't catch the report, but perhaps you can give it to me on the next one. You're peaking 5 and 5, 55 on the peaks, but you were almost into the noise, and then you came back up there. Running 400 watts here into a hex beam. That's the conditions this side, and the hex beam will be roughly pointing at you, Chris. So could you give me my report again, over?
Charlie, Sierra Papa.
Yeah, I just caught the tail end of that. Give me my report a few times. My report a few times over, Chris. What is my report, Chris? What is my report? Over. I have lost you, I think, in the noise there. Apologies for that. Just the way it goes sometimes. Anyone else? Mike 0, Oscar, Papa X-ray listening. CQ. Mike 0, Oscar, Papa X-ray. Mike 0, Oscar, Papa X-ray. CQ, over. CQ. Mike 0, Oscar, Papa X-ray. Mike 0, Oscar, Papa X-ray. CQ, over. CQ. Mike 0, Oscar, Papa X-ray. Mike 0, Oscar, Papa X-ray. CQ, over.
Santiago, Portugal, 3 Whiskey, X-ray Kilo.
Yeah, a little bit quick for me. Try again.
Sierra Papa 3 Whiskey, X-ray Kilo.
Okay, I got you. Sugar Papa 3 Whiskey X-ray Kilo. Very good afternoon. Name is Colin. Charlie Oscar Lima Italy November, and QTH is near Edinburgh. Back to you. Sugar Papa 3 Whiskey X-ray Kilo MM0 OPX. Over.
Okay, Colin. Mike 0, Oscar Papa X-ray. This is Sierra Papa 3 Whiskey X-ray Kilo. My name is Adam, like Alpha Delta Alpha Mike Adam. And QTH is Poznań, is a big city in West Poland, about 200 kilometers from German border. This is Poznań, like Papa Oscar Zulu November November Poznań. And report for you in this moment is 57258. 5758. I'm working with Fox Tango 891. This is the issue 100 watts. In this moment only 90 watts output power. And antenna is two element wire, double 12 meter. One element is lying in kitchen on the floor, and the second element is outside the building between the window and the tree there. Okay, Mike back to Scotland. Mike 0, Oscar Papa X-ray, Sierra Papa 2 Whiskey X-ray Kilo.
Yeah, fine stuff, Adam. You actually came up a bit there. Sugar Papa 3 Whiskey X-ray Kilo MM0 OPX. Okay, fine, and a solid copy there. I really like that radio. I had an 857 for many years, and I also used an 897 in the club, so that was a really rugged radio, which I enjoyed very much. Okay, on the 90 watts into the 2-element beam, I think you could call it. I'm running a hex beam, so also a 2-element wire beam, but I'm running a bit more power. I'm peaking 350 to 400 watts, and it's pointing roughly in your direction. And it's not very high off the ground. It's only about 6 meters off the ground. I just put it up temporary today, Adam. The radio is a hybrid. My TX transmitting from a Kenwood TS590, but I am using an AirSpy HF Plus Discovery to receive you via SDR console. But you're sounding good. Again, about 57 the same. Sugar Papa 3 Whiskey X-ray Kilo MM0 OPX.
Okay, Colin. Thanks for short QSO. All the best for you and family. In this moment, is problem with receiving your signal because now on the frequency is a very strong station from Netherlands. All the best, bye-bye, and see you next time.
Okay, thank you, Adam. I might move a little bit. I appreciate that. Sugar Papa 3 Whiskey X-ray Kilo MM0 OPX. Cheers. Okay, we'll try again. I can't hear that station. CQ. Mike 0, Oscar Papa X-ray listening. CQ. Mike 0, Oscar Papa X-ray. Mike 0, Oscar Papa X-ray. CQ, over. CQ, CQ, CQ. Mike, Mike 0, Oscar, Papa X-ray. Mike, Mike 0, Oscar, Papa X-ray. CQ, over. CQ, CQ, CQ. Mike, Mike 0, Oscar, Papa X-ray. Mike, Mike 0, Oscar, Papa X-ray. CQ, over. Mike, Mike 0, Oscar. CQ, CQ, CQ. Mike, Mike 0, Oscar, Papa X-ray. Mike, Mike 0, Oscar, Papa X-ray. CQ, over. CQ, CQ, CQ. Mike, Mike 0, Oscar, Papa X-ray. Mike, Mike 0, Oscar, Papa X-ray. CQ, over. I'll see what else is about here, but hi Duncan. Stuck at work, I see. But you'll get out when it's non-contest, Duncan, and you'll be able to make the most of it. I think I see there's a couple of contests on, so I think it's a European HF thing, 24-hour contest, so that's why I came up to 17. But I don't think there's much DX. I think it's a bit early just now, or I'm a bit late, one of the two.
Go ahead there, take your foot in, Mark 73, good luck, bye.
Q David X-ray. Calling 17, calling CQ 17, calling CQ DX. Italy, Victoria 3, xylofono, Yokohama, Canada. India, Victoria 3. X-ray, Yankee Charlie, calling CQDX.
So this is a good example of this air spy. You can see I've got the filter set to 2.4, and I'm hearing that nearby station.
Whiskey 1, Whiskey 1.
I narrow it up to down to 2 kilohertz, and I can't hear them at all.
Whiskey Tango, CQ. So, I'm so expert.
Dance pad with the 9 to 1 and also 49 to 1. It's also good result, good treasure, good antenna, good tuning, my radio with the end pad also. 23 meters long and the second one 21 meters long, something like that. Okay, Michael, thank you for the...
This is
From Echo Alpha 5 Hotel. Echo Alpha 5 Hotel. Echo Alpha 5 Hotel.
yeah, it's quiet.
Thank you. From Echo Alpha 5 Hotel. Echo Alpha 5 Hotel. Echo Alpha 5 Hotel. Thank you.
Listen to this. This is 20. Crazy. There's the SSB section. Wow.
So I gave you the number 7.
Waste of time on 20, I think. I need to tune up the doublet for this. A handy tuning. So that's me back on the doublet, and what do I need to go to here? 40 SSB 1967, 1967, 189. Yeah, 40 is much quieter.
I didn't want to move the reflector because obviously that would change the front to back.
Yeah, we'll try 40.
I did kind of...
Find a clear spot. I need to tune up. Power down. Turn the amplifier off. Let me see. So. This is tuned up. I'll just put the linear on. So we'll run that well on here. Get back to LSB 6156. I need to go back to FM. It's this way. Is the frequency in use, please? Mike 0 Oscar Papa X-ray. Is the frequency in use, please? Mike 0 Oscar Papa X-ray. That's working all right. 7165. CQ. Mike 0 Oscar Papa X-ray. Mike 0 Oscar Papa X-ray. CQ, over.
Germany 5, Sierra Tango United.
Aha, I wondered you'd be lurking by, Stu. G5STU MM0OPX. Good signal there, Stu. It's cooking up here today. How's it down there, over?
Yeah, it's quite warm actually. I literally just saw your live stream pop up, so I brought that up on the TV, and I thought, I'll see if I can hear you. And you're solid 5 and 9, so obviously you're up in Scotland, I'm right down on the south coast of England. A few miles between us, but yeah, looking out the window, it's lovely and sunny, a few clouds, but a nice day, over. No,
that's good, Stu. Yeah, well, we're getting the storm on Monday. So I've got the hex beam up, obviously I'm on the doublet just now. I'm just looking at the ACOM here, that's only about 300 watts that we're running, but you're about 10 over. But I wanted to open the window, but we've got wasps here, so I had the exterminator here this morning, and it's under the dormer roof, so he's been up there and he's sprayed it, so I don't want to open the window for fear of wasps flying in, so I'm just gonna cook here. All right, Stu, that's good, but that TV looks cracking there. I just need to convince the XYL to do away with the 2 monitors I've got here, and that would just sit nicely on the wall right in front of me here. G5STU MM0OPX. Oh, there's Hagrid. Hello. Very
I was looking at, high-end sort of Samsung, big monitors, quad HD type things. For coding, it's good to be able to, extend the code editor vertically. You can see more of your code in one go, it just makes life a lot easier. You can do that when you've got two.
Cheers,
I used to have a super ultra-wide on the bottom and then 2 HD monitors above. And that did work quite well, actually, to be fair. But I was always looking at it thinking, it'd be better if it was just one screen, and just split it up into 4, into the size I want the different parts to be. And now I can do that. I did think it was going to be all pixelated, because if you ever tried to use an old TV as a computer monitor, you sit that close to it, you can see the pixels. But on this 50-inch 4K job, it literally is just like a monitor, I can't see pixels, it's not hurting my eyes, it seems to behave quite well. The only thing I have noticed, a little bit of glare, it does show a bit more glare from the light, so I don't know, that's the only annoying thing, but I think I can live with that, over.
I know what you mean, Stu. I've just was staring at my monitors here. They've always got that satin matte effect, so you don't get the shine. And I suppose TVs are a little bit different there. I suppose if you were really pedantic, you could maybe put one of those covers on it, but then I think that'd probably make it worse. No, I know what you mean about the pixelating. No, that's a bargain at that. And when you set the TV up, do you just do that through the TV to split it up into the different sections, over?
No, you use a Windows program, so it's connected to it's an NVIDIA 4060, and so it's not a mega expensive graphics card, but it is a fairly decent one, and it's just one HDMI out the back of that into the TV. You do need to make sure you plug it into the right HDMI. You have to use HDMI 3 on this TV. I don't know why, but there is a difference. And then what you do, within Windows, there's a thing called Windows Power Tools, or Toys, I think it's called. Tools or Toys, I'm not sure. Anyway, you install that through the Windows App Store, and within that you get a load of little programs that help you improve Windows, and one of them is called Fancy Zones. And what that does, it allows you to split your screen up into as many different sections as you want, and then when you move a window, you know, you go to drag a window around, you just hold down shift and all of the different zones appear, and then you can drop it wherever you want, Colin, ever.
That's amazing, Stu. As you say, once you've got it set up, it's just like having 4 monitors in one. You just need to see. That's amazing. Because you can just split it and have them all custom sizes, however you want them. No, that's the bargain. If they knew that people were going to do that, they certainly wouldn't charge that. But then it's a TV, and the market's absolutely huge, whereas the market for monitors is not quite as big, so they can maybe justify to charge a bit more. Because I'm just using a cheap kind of, I think it's a 27-inch MSI and an old Samsung as my second monitor. But I'd like, I was going to put a second MSI here. We'll see, because that monitor would probably cost as much as what that telly was. But as I say, I'd need to convince the XYL. But then it could maybe actually sit on this. I've got like a desk, and then I've got the stand on top of the desk. I need to measure. I'll measure that, because I see that link that you sent. It's got obviously the feet on it, and it could maybe even just sit on the feet. That would be something else. All right, Stu, I appreciate that. Appreciate you calling in there and then that are there, and that's good. That definitely something to think about there. You maybe heard it when I was calling CQ there. I think Cal had this as well. When I use my voice keyer, right when it keys off, there's a beep, and it does it with all the WAV files. But I think it's to do with N1MM, because Cal says I noticed that Cal saying that when he was doing his IOTA contest last weekend, he was noticing it. It's not massively annoying, but I think it's from N1MM. So I'll listen back to the stream and see if I could hear it there. All right, mate, I'll put it back to you for one more. G5STU, MM0OPX.
G5STU for the quick final, and no, I didn't hear a beep actually. Maybe I missed it, but I didn't hear a beep this end. So I don't know if it's just you hearing it through your computer or whatever, but I didn't notice anything. And it's actually, it's not sat on a desk stand. It's actually, I've got one of these stands that you can wheel around, you know, like you used to have at school when you wheel the telly around. I've got one of those, and it's actually just on that. So I've basically pulled out the desk, just wheeled the TV up against the wall, and then pushed the desk back against it. So it's, you know,
Hi, Rolly.
If I change my mind, it's not a big deal. You know, I can just wheel it out again. But yeah, that's all I've done here. It's no
Bit early for us, I think.
Or any crazy mounts or anything. It's just literally a big hefty floor stand that holds the TV up. But okay then, Colin, enjoy the stream. You're sounding fine down here on the south coast. Bit of QSB, but solid 5.7 to 5.9 plus throughout down here. MM0OPX, G5STU. All the best, Colin.
Yeah, fine stuff, Stu. I'm actually not using any EQ on this 590. So if I've got 2 elements in this headset, so if I change it, that should be a lot thinner. And a lot of tell me that's quite piercing. And that's the kind of the wide range they call it. I think this is like the Rag2 element, and the other one's the DX. Did you notice a difference there, Stu, over?
Yeah, I did, definitely. The DX one definitely very thin, so I would stick with this one if I was you for the moment, over.
No, definitely. I think it makes a difference when your signal's maybe all the way around the other side of the world, but this is definitely the one to use to. All right, mate, 73, all the best. G5STU, MM0OPX. Cheers.
Yeah, 7-3, mate, bye-bye.
Anyone else for a call? Mike 0 Oscar Papa X-ray. CQ. Mike now I just 0 get to play Oscar about my voice Papa here again. X-ray. Mike 0 Oscar Papa X-ray. CQ, over.
Mike 0, this is 2 Mike 0, Juliet, Uniform India, West Coast of Scotland.
Who's the Juliet Uniform Italy?
Yes, 2 Mexico, 0, Juliet Uniform Italy.
Okay, I've got you 2 Mike 0, Juliet Uniform India. That's a new one for me. You're about a 5-5, 55 here. Name is Colin, Charlie Oscar Lima, Italy, November. And I'm not too far from Livingston. Livingston is the nearest town. So I wonder where you are on the west coast. 2M0JUI, MM0OPX.
Hey, Colin, nice to meet you. I'm in Moliston Tire. Do you know Tire? It's just right at the top of the ISC there. And I'm receiving you 5.9 here. You're coming in very well. Livingston, I know the Livingston site pretty well. I may be confusing. I'm in Scotland, but I've got an American accent. Don't be worried about that. I'll tell you later.
Oh, great. I didn't catch the name. What's the name, over?
Oh, sorry about that. The name is Terry. That's Tango, Echo, Romeo, Yankee.
Oh, fantastic, Terry. Yeah, you're about a 5 and 5 here, and I've got a little bit of noise here, but you're well over that. So yeah, I've never been to Mull. I've been up and down US, and I've been beat the Sky obviously a few times. I've been to some of the smaller islands like Lewing, on my bike, and then I've done Applecross a few times, and basically right up that west coast, basically hugging the coastline up to Ullapool. I used to do that route before it became popular with the Northwest 500, and it kind of got too busy. So usually September, October, when the weather tend to be a bit better up the west coast, me and a few friends would take our motorbikes, and ride up the west coast, and it was absolutely great. But it's just a little bit too busy for my liking these days, Terry. So I wonder what you're running station-wise here. I'm running about 350, 400 watts into a doublet. My TX is a Kenwood 590, but I'm receiving you on an AirSpy Discovery into my computer via SDR console. 2M0JUI MM0OPX.
Roger, yeah, I was actually going to do that with the SDR when I was using my Kenwood, but the Kenwood died on me. Well, actually what happened was the AM and the single sidebands work, and the FM transmit, but I can't receive anything. So I was going to set up the SDR doing what you're doing, but I went out and bought a Yaesu FT710, which I love. I'm working it off a G5 RV antenna, and it seems to be doing pretty good. Just set it up a couple of weeks ago, and you must know Robbie Duncan up in the north coast, up around that area, and also Ryan MM0GTX. You must know those guys if you've been around.
I know Robbie. He's is it UDI MM0 UDI? I think Robbie. I've not spoken to him for quite a while. But I used to catch him on basically when I was working shifts during the week, during the day. That's normally when I would catch Robbie. But now I don't work shifts anymore, and I never seem to catch him. But Ryan GTX, it's a familiar call sign, but it's not one that I recall. But definitely Robbie. He's a cracking lad there. And okay on the G5 RV and the 710 sounds absolutely great, Terry. It's amazing what type of receiver you can get in for the money. I think because there's just it's software rather than hardware. The manufacturers are able to they're able to sell a lot more for less. But that's a funny one. I wonder what type of Kenwood you had there. I wonder if it was a 590 or maybe something older, 570 or 480 or something. But I can't complain. The AirSpy, it's great. It really works well, but I can understand why you did that. Back to you. 2M0JUI MM0OPX.
Yeah, Roger, I've used the SDI, and it is good. It's very good. I even bought a switch, the transfer switch. When I was using it, the TX430, the TX430.
Yeah, losing them.
I think it was about 12. I left it out in the shed during the winter, and I think it was cold and the ice got into it, and it sort of destroyed that for me. But being that it wasn't receiving, I used the SDR, and that seemed to work pretty good with the switch. Actually, I burnt out the first SDR without realizing it. It was just a stupid thing. I had set it up, and then I transmitted, and I saw the SDR. It nearly went up in smoke. It just didn't work after I transmitted there without a switch, which was kind of stupid on my part. But anyway, I sent it back to Amazon. They gave me another one. I just told them it just didn't work. But they're really good. I have one here. I haven't been using it since I've had the Yaesu. I love this thing. The sensitivity on it's fantastic, and it's got the attached television, so it's almost like working a computer. Over to you.
Yeah, that's right, Terry. I wish they make these radios to a price, but I wish that those radios would have a second antenna socket on it. Would make a world of difference. And a receive antenna socket, but I know why they're doing that. They're trying to keep them to a price and then make you buy the big brother. But yeah, I know what you mean about the SDR switch. I'm using one by Paul, so it's the sdrswitch.com, N2EME. So yeah, it's a bit more expensive than those ones in Amazon, but it's got really good isolation. So I don't need to worry about that, especially running a bit of power as well. So that's, and then the insertion loss is incredibly low. It's probably 0.02 of a dB here on 40 meters, or sometimes some of the cheaper ones, they could be a little bit lossy, where I'm losing effectively nothing by doing it this way. Terry, over.
Hi, Roger. Yeah, that's good. That's great. But I haven't renewed mine since I've got the 710. I'm pretty satisfied with that. It seems to be working. I'm actually in the process of building a three-way switch. I have 3 antennas out there now. I'm using the G5RV as a primary, and then I have a random wire, which I've been more or less experimenting with on what bands it works best on. And then I have a vertical, which I have about 5 meters high. But the funny thing about the vertical column is that I have it on my metal shed. And a metal roof on the shed. I have it on the corner, and the shed acts like a ground plane. And the first day I put it up there, I got Italy like he was around the corner. It was bloody amazing. And in that general direction, Italy and off towards oh, bloody hell, Turkey, in that area, it just works fantastic, because the shed is acting just like a beam. That's what I believe. I spoke to other people, and they said, yeah, it's your ground plan, your what do you call it, post something or other, I can't recall what it's worth. But it works great. It's just a 5 meter, it's a kind of a mobile type switch, but it's one of those heavy duty ones. It works great.
No, I know what you mean. If it's on the corner, then you're maybe getting some directivity. That's probably what it is. But you're going to get some pretty horrible weather over there, Terry. So I could understand. Certainly, if I lived across there, I would be pretty wary about putting up beams and stuff. But you should have an amazing takeoff to the state, especially being West Coast and where you are. That should be pretty good for you. Getting a big. I must admit, if I lived somewhere up on the West Coast, I'd probably have a big vertical and masses of radials, maybe put the 12 meter DX Commander up or something, and double guy it so it could take those horrible storms that you get on the West Coast. I'm actually live streaming at the minute, Terry. If you put my name into YouTube, you'll be able to listen to yourself if that's something you want to do. And you sound good. You've been in and out a little bit QSB, but you're sounding really good, and you can hear what your audio is like. If you don't mind, I'm going to try to make a couple more contacts and maybe try and go up the bands. I've got my hex beam up here as well, and maybe try 17 again, or perhaps see if anyone's on 12. So I'll put it back to you for a final, Terry. 2M0JUI MM0OPX.
That's great. Yeah, I'm going to do that now. I'll tune you in on the old YouTube. Hi, it's a great thing. I love when people do that. I'll eventually do it myself someday. But you talk about the USA. Yeah, I'd like to get the USA, but I'm never up that late at night. About 8, 9 o'clock, we're off to bed. Getting old, that's the way it works. Well, listen, good luck today, and I hope you get many contacts. And 73C, it's nice meeting you. I'm sure we'll chat again. 2 Mexico 0 Juliet Uniform India.
Yeah, fine stuff, Terry. Well, if you just wait, you're going to get another maybe 2 winters. If you get on 10 meters, even with a vertical, and you operate between maybe 2 p.m. through to grey line, you're going to get a lot of those guys in the States on the morning grey line. I find 10 meters through the Sunspot Maximum is the greatest fun ever, and it's my favourite band. Obviously, we've got a few years of it now. So yeah, normally about September, really into October, you can start hammering those guys in the States. It's really good fun. All the best, Terry. Yeah, we'll look to continue the chat the next time. 2M0JUI MM0OPX. All the best. Cheers.
All the best. Cheers. All right.
Okay, anyone else for a call? Mike 0 Oscar, Papa X-ray. You're a little bit right, but there's an Oscar Bravo radio.
Yeah, George 0, Victoria, Bravo, radio. G0VB.
You're quite far down with me, but I got you there. G0, Victor Bravo Romeo. I'll give you a report on the next one. Name is Colin, and I'm located just outside Livingston. G0 VBR MM0OPX.
Depending on time of day, I usually get your end of
country quite well, both ends of the country. It just, today it's a bit flat for some reason. Never mind. I've just turned up the power a little bit, and I am on a very low aerial. It's runs out fence top, Colin. Back to you from G0 VBR.
Yeah, fine stuff, Mark. You're peaking 5 and 9, maybe just a little bit over there. The power going up certainly made a difference. Yeah, it looked really, really quiet. There was one station on the SSB portion here, but it's not completely dead. But yeah, I think it could be better. But I've not been on 40 through the day for a wee while, Mark, so you know the band a bit better than me. I'm running about, that's peaking about 380 watts, and the antenna is a doublet, so 66-foot doublet, so pretty simple working conditions here. But I'm thoroughly enjoying the doublet, except having to continually tune it. But apart from that, it's really, really good. But I kind of need to do that with the big tuner and the amplifier. G0 VBR MM0 OPX.
Yeah, okay, Colin. Well, it's, I'm running 80 watts. 80. But mine is NFED, literally on top of the fence. It's a bit longer than 30 metres, running around the house, but it has got a heck of a lot of galvanised fencing wire laid at the bottom of the fence round as well. So whether that helps or not, I don't know. In my mind it does. It's a lot of these things, it's placebo effect, isn't it? How do you quantify something that takes you weeks to alter and put in? You know, years and years ago, but it did take a long time to put in over a period of time when I was working. So how do you actually measure it? I think a lot of it's in your head. Like any new aerial, isn't it? You put it up and it's either fantastic or it's rubbish. And you've got to live with it for a long time and do comparisons with others just to see, haven't you, Colin? Back to you.
Absolutely, Mark. It's doing A/B comparisons are incredibly difficult. I've looked into it, and it's something I'm going to try. So you can actually get these Zactec Whisper transmitters. So they just TX, and you could have them synced. So you could have two different antennas hooked up, and they're transmitting at exactly the same time. I guess there will be a bit of interaction, and you can then look at the whisper spots and stuff. But it's very, very difficult. But like you say, I think you've got to live with an antenna for quite a while and then just see what it's actually like. There's no other way. I remember when I first got licensed, the local shop to me, JC's, they were selling G5 RVs. I think they were £20 full-size G5 RV, and it was the middle of the summer, band conditions were flat, and I didn't know any better. So I put this thing up and I thought it was hopeless, but that was after about a day of using it, maybe a day and a half, and I ended up just chopping it down and then just turning it into a 40-metre dipole. But I should have given it a little bit more time. But I know what you mean. If you're getting out and you're making the contacts, Mark, that's all you can really ask for. G0 VBR MM0 OPX.
Band them on, etc. It's amazing.
think one area will be consistently better than the other, but it's not so. It chops and changes coming back to.
Well, that's exactly it, Mark. So it's not just one size that fits all here. I'm actually running a hybrid setup here. So my TX is a 590, purely for transmit, but I'm receiving you on an AirSpy HF Plus Discovery running into SDR console. So I've been using this setup for about 8 months now. I really like it, and I like how good the selectivity and the sensitivity of this AirSpy is. So there's somebody just slightly lower, and he was bleeding over, so I'm able to just tweak the filter and just take him out. I've had to take you down to about 2 kilohertz, but I'm still hearing you Q5, although a little bit QSB there. But it's working really, really well. I'll put it back to you for one more, Mark. I'm live streaming at the minute, so I was wanting to test out the setup there and my voice keyer that I've just actually set up with M1MM. It seems to be working okay. So I'll put it back to you for a final, then I'm going to make a few more contacts and get out of here. And that's before the family comes home. G0VBR MM0OPX.
Yeah, okay, Colin. Well, I'm the same. I haven't at the moment got the RX antenna in. I've been flipping back and forward between vertical and the fence top for a few months now. But prior to that, when I had the doublet up, I had a receiving aerial. Again, that ran round the fence, but that was round the bottom of the fence, about a foot off the ground. So I'm a very, very firm believer in if you've got noise problems or anything like that, the RX antenna is fantastic. But I've seen those AirSpy thingies and the fantastic software, etc. you can do now, but all my radios are pretty, well, not old, but they're pretty analog type stuff. And I tend to like to play with attenuation and things like that first before I start with any filters. Right, hopefully you have a good afternoon, Colin, and thanks for using all the best from VBL.
Yeah, fine stuff, Mark. Enjoyed the chat. I think it's perhaps our first one there from down in South Yorkshire. The last time I was down there, I actually picked our dog up. She was a rescue and she came from North Macedonia, and it was Sheffield of all places. So when I went down there, I remember because I think it was 2021, and it was just after a lockdown. It was the first day that England opened up after lockdown, and I went down to Lamco in Barnsley. So I thought, I'm here, I'm going to pop in there. So that was interesting. They're never what you think of when you see the adverts, but I think that's the same with all ham radio shops. But I remember having to chap the door, and they had to unlock it for me to go in, and then they locked it for behind. They locked it once I got in the shop, so I wasn't escaping, Mark. All right, all the best, 73 G0VBR MM0OPX. I'm just going to move up slightly. The MM3. Let's try 166. I think there was an M. I didn't catch it quite there. There was an MM3 something. Go ahead.
Mike 3 Golf Quebec Tango. Name's Gordon in Ayrshire. I wonder if there's any copy or a nice strong signal here, over.
Yeah, I've got you, Gordon. MM3 GQT, MM0OPX. You're S8, sometimes S9 there, so decent enough signal. So skip seems really, really short if I'm here in Ayrshire. I was speaking to Terry over there in Mull, so it's normally a little bit longer, so that's good. I wonder where about in Ayrshire you are. I'm in Uphall, which is just outside Livingston, and about 400 watts here into a 66-foot doublet. Back to you, MM3 GQT, MM0OPX.
do a little eBay SDR switch and it's fantastic over.
Yeah, fantastic, Gordon. I lost some of that, but I did catch. I think you said you're using an RS SDR play there. It's amazing. It is amazing. I got a lot of comments on that video last night. People saying, so I knew it was going to be a mixed response, but hey ho, I'm only showing people what you can do. It's up to them whether they do it or not. But watch that little eBay switch there, because if it does give in, then it will blow the front end of your receiver. I think some of them could be mixed, but if you get a good one, they're a good one. I'm quite happy with the one I've got here, the Paul's one, N2EME. So it's a half decent switch. So definitely something you've got to watch with these, that you don't blow the front end. I'll put it back to you for one more, Gordon. You were kind of, the QSB was coming in there. I think the skip's perhaps just going a little bit longer. MM3GQT, MM0OPX.
Going through is fantastic, absolutely fantastic. So I really enjoyed your video there, and I'm going to look and see if I subscribe to your channel. If not, I will do. But thanks very much for the video. MM3GQT, have a nice weekend there, over.
Yeah, fantastic, Gordon. And I didn't catch it. Where in Ayrshire are you, over? Yeah, I know roughly where you are there. I'm normally in Ayr, and we go down to Ayr with the family normally in May and have a long weekend. That's 2 years on the trot. We've had amazing weather in May, so I quite enjoy my trips down to Ayr, Gordon. But no, that's good. And I'm live streaming at the minute if you want to listen back to your audio. All the best, Brian. Thanks for the subscribe. MM3GQT, MM0OPX. Cheers.
7-3, enjoy your rest of your weekend and keep up the good work with videos. 7-3.
Yeah, cheers, Gordon. Anyone else for a call? Mike 0, Oscar, Papa X-ray.
CQ.
Maybe have a wee change of band, guys.
Oscar, Papa X-ray. Mike
Just before
0,
we go off.
Oscar, Papa X-ray. CQ, over. CQ. Mike 0, Oscar, Papa X-ray. Mike 0, Oscar, Papa X-ray. CQ, over. CQ. Mike 0, Oscar, Papa X-ray. Mike 0, Oscar, Papa X-ray. CQ, over.
I've got an S3 noise here. You're kind of down in the noise. Give me the call a couple of times, over. Okay, Mike 7, Echo Yankee Hotel. You'd probably be about 5 and 5 in the clear, but you're just above my noise floor there, unfortunately. But I did get the call. Their name is Colin, and I'm just outside Livingston. M7EYH, MM0OPX. Yeah, I've lost you there. I didn't get the name, but I did get my report of 5 and 7. I wish you 73. I do appreciate the call there. I think it's, yeah, band is just changing. M7EYH, MM0OPX. Yeah, 7-3 there. I'll just, anyone else just before a QSY? A bit stronger, G0PWX. I think I'll give you a report in the next one. Name's Colin, located up near Livingston, over.
Okay, from Golf Zero Papa Whiskey X-ray. You're about 5 QSB. The name is Jerry, Golf Echo Radio Yankee. And we're down in the county of Kent, just outside of Maidstone. Go ahead.
Fine stuff, Jerry. G0PWX, MM0OPX. Yeah, also 5 and 7. Band's very up and down. Station's there 1 minute and then gone the next. Running about 400 watts here into a 66-foot doublet, so nothing too fancy. Beautiful day up this neck of the woods here. I don't know what it is outside, but it must be about 20 degrees or 22 or something. But it's not like it. Actually having a decent summer for once, Jerry. Back to you, G0PWX MM0OPX.
From Golf Zero Papa Whiskey X-ray. Yeah, okay. Well, it's about the same here. That's 22 degrees. Big clouds, nice and calm. I'm trying out a new microphone. I wonder if you'd be calling it topic ahead.
Yeah, as I say, you're a little bit QSB, but it sounds really good, Jerry. I'd like to hear it. If band conditions were better, I think it would be. It's you know what I mean. It's hard to tell unless you're a solid kind of S9 and above. But it would sound really good, and I wouldn't change anything over.
That's just what I wanted to hear. Thank you very much. So it's a new microphone. Only arrived about half an hour ago, actually. ILPR 40. Running on a Kenwood TS990. About 70 watts only. Off-center fed dipole. Go ahead.
Yeah, I used to run one of those, Jerry. I run one for an off-centre fed dipole for a couple of years, and I really quite enjoyed it. But I wanted to get on 80 metres, so I forced the 66-foot doublet onto 80. It's not ideal, but it's better than what the off-centre fed was, because it was meant for 40 and it was deaf on 80. And I also get 60 with it as well. But a 990, it's lovely audio, Jerry. As I say, hopefully I can hear you again, but no, don't change a thing. It's just right. It's not too thin. It's not too low. It's just nice to hear, Jerry. Over.
That's excellent. Well, thank you very much.
I'm using the AirSpy,
Yeah, the
Andy.
off-center fed dipole is a homemade one. It's around 118 foot.
If you watched last night's, I released a video last night, Andy. If you catch a bit of that, you'll be able to see what I've done.
Certainly seems to do the job.
The AirSpy is just easier to set
well,
up.
it's lovely. Thanks very much for the report. You're the only one I can hear on the back, so there you go. 40 metres has been terrible lately. The 73C, you take care. Lovely to chat with you. Thanks for the report from Golf Zero Papa Whiskey X-ray.
Well, no, I appreciate that, Jerry. I'm actually live streaming at the minute, so if you want to hear your audio, that would be even better. So if you just put my call into YouTube, you'll see I'm live streaming, and obviously you're the last QSO. So you just came up on that last over there, and it sounds really good. So and that I think that's the best thing. Then you'd be able to hear for yourself, Jerry, or have a listen later, or whatever. All the best. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. G0PWX MM0OPX.
Yep, okay, well, I'll certainly do that. Thanks very much. Thanks for the tip off. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your weekend from G0PWX.
Yeah, cheers, Jerry. Okay, just anyone else before I QSY?
Echo India 4 Juliet Golf Bravo.
Echo India 4 Juliet Golf Bravo. Yeah, very good afternoon. Give you a report on the next one. Name's Colin, and I'm not far from Livingston. EI4JGB MM0OPX.
Hi there, Colin. The name here is Martin. Mike Alpha Romeo Tango India November, and the QTH is in the southeast of Ireland. You're about a 5 and 3, 5 and 4, but a lot of trading here and out there, Colin.
Yeah, much the same here, Martin. You're about a 5 and 5 peaking here. Band conditions are just not great. What signals that are there are pretty weak. They were slightly better when I came on it just maybe an hour ago, but not great at all. I'm running about 350, 400 watts into a 66-foot doublet. But if the conditions are not there, it'll just not work, Martin. EI4JGB MM0OPX.
Yeah, MM0 Oscar Papa X-ray. Look, I won't hold it because conditions aren't great. Having said that, great, I'm watching you there on YouTube live streaming as well, so it looks like you're having loads of fun. Look, I'll say 7-3 and maybe we'll chat further down the line and enjoy the fun.
Yes, fantastic, Martin. It's always good to get Ireland in the log, and it's not actually... I never actually make too many contacts into Ireland, so it's always nice to get them there. It's maybe just a funny distance for me. All the best, Martin. EI4JGB MM0OPX. Cheers. And then somebody just comes up.
Bravo Uniform Echo.
EI8ITB.
Yeah, who's the Bravo Uniform Echo?
Yes, good evening, Mo. Good afternoon, Martin. The name is Ian, India Alpha November, and my call is Mike 7, Bravo United Echo. QTH the town of Stoke-on-Trent, Central UK. Back to you, Martin.
Yeah, it's Colin this end, M7BUE MM0OPX. Apologies there. Somebody's just decided to step all over the top of us there, but I'm still copying you there. I didn't get the name there. I was looking at that other station. I'll get it again. You're a good signal here. 5859. Name is Colin, as I said, and up near Livingston. M7BUE MM0OPX.
Colin, all this is you are 5910 to my location. I'm at roughly east of Stoke, about 6 miles east of Stoke. Talk to you. Very nice signal. Good luck, Colin. Got the X.
Yes, all the best. 73. I think there was another EI station there. Go ahead.
Yeah, thanks, Colin. Echo India 8, India Tango Bravo, and the operator name this side is Nigel. Colin, over.
Yeah, fine there, Nigel. Echo India 8, Italy Tango Bravo. Just get the name in there. Yeah, fine there. The whole band is empty, and then somebody decides to just go on the high side of us there. But I suppose that's all the way it is. If you've not been reading the news there, I'm running about 400 watts there, Nigel, into a 66-foot doublet. So nothing fancy this end. But you're a good signal here, 5859, EI8, ITB, MM0OPX.
You're 5959 plus 5 back into Carrigan Shannon here today, Colin. So good to walk you for what I think is the first time anyhow, I'm not sure.
I think so.
MM0OPX from EI8ITB returning.
Yes, I think so, Nigel. EI8ITB MM0OPX. It's quite a new log I'm running. I'm a bit scunnered that I've lost a part of my old M3FGP log. A couple of thousand contacts in it there. I think it's when I thought I had backed up my old computer before I'd taken it out, but I'm still looking through hard drives and stuff to see if I can find it. So some people are obviously noting that, and I can't find the old logs there. Fine stuff there, Nigel. Again, the stations just seem to have just come up out of nowhere there, but maybe that's just band conditions. I won't hold it there. I'm going to try a couple of the higher bands here, and then I'm just going to call off there. But great to get you this afternoon, and we'll look forward to the next one. EI8 ITB MM0OPX.
Yeah, great stuff, Colin. Well, thanks for coming back to my call, and enjoy the rest of the X, and have a great weekend, and best wishes. Mike 0, Oscar Papa X-ray from Echo India 8, India Tango Bravo 73.
Yeah, 73, Nigel. Anyone else, guys, that's listening? I'm going to QSY I think to 17.
A quick report to George 4 X-ray Yankee, over.
I was a bit slow. Was it George 4 X-ray Italy Yankee?
It was, yes, George 4 X-ray. I guess all right, Colin.
You're 5 and 8 and 5 and 9, but I've got this station that's just about 1 kc above. So when you're in the clear, 58, 59, no problem. Sounds really good, but yeah, whether that's just conditions or not. But apart from that, sounding good, over.
Right, thanks very much. You're over the S9, by the way. You're over the S9 here in the Peak District. Anyway, thanks very much for that. Yeah, the band's gone to... let's go back and he's got a contest on that. AI band, I noticed the contest.
Over 20 meters.
Okay, Colin, thanks very much for coming back to me. Golf 4 X-ray India Yankees. Cheers.
Yeah, cheers. Okay, up to 17 to go. Okay, yeah, had enough of that. Okay, somebody's on 17. Let me just change the... I see the noise coming up there.
Hotel Bravo 9, Hotel Lima Mike.
I'm not hearing those States, guys in the States.
My name is Mihai, Mike India, Hotel Alpha India, and my own call sign is Lima Bravo 9 Hotel India. Very nice to have you on the log this evening.
Ah, okay. Need to tune up here again, I think, guys. Give me a sec. Find a clear spot. I'll just mute that. Yeah, we're on the. What do we need to put the linear on? 85 and 68. 5, 68. Okay. Might need to spin this beam actually, we'll see what it's like.
Hotel Bravo 9, Hotel Lima Mike. Hotel.
Mike Whiskey 0, Yankee Charlie Queen. You were 5 and 5. 5 and 5 is with yourself.
I think this is his porta station.
Golf Bravo 1053, is that right?
We'll see if we can get them. Five porta slash 6.
And I can give you a few more call times.
A little bit of noise in this band.
So I can give you my own call sign, which is Lima Bravo 9 Hotel India.
He's a little bit off the side of the beam.
Roger, and after Zulu, Yankee Romeo 0, Papa Oscar Tango Alpha.
There's a few of yous watching, I appreciate that, guys. I know there's not a lot happening here. I'm not sure if the States is open on 17. Maybe if I spun the beam. I think it's a bit early.
It's Papa Oscar Tango America, Yankee Romeo 0 Pota, parts on the air. It's Yankee Romeo 0 Papa Oscar Tango America, Pota,
Hi, Chris. Ah, that's right. I think we got each other on every band the last time we were on.
Roger, that's 73 at your activity. Thank you. 5 Papa 0 Tango America, 5 Papa 0 Tango Alpha, 5 on the air.
Mike 0, Oscar Papa X-ray.
Mike 0, Oscar Papa X-ray, you're 5 and 9, 5 9 is developed.
Yeah, thank you also. You're about a 5 and 7 here, but a good signal. Name is Colin. All the best with your activation in the weekend, over. Yeah, 7-3.
Thank you.
Charlie Delta X-ray. Oscar Victor 1, Charlie Delta X-ray. Oscar Victor 1, Charlie Delta X-ray. Calling C2 and standing by.
That page there because I saw his name was unique, and then he had a unique way of letting somebody know how to say his name.
Is that somebody in the States? Because if it is, I'm spinning the beam.
To the Simpsons, if I'm not mistaken.
We'll just try and get a call.
A couple times over there. Way back in June. Looks like in June, May and June. I do remember him. But anyway, you have many people coming in here as well, and like I said, the band's not stable. Still early in the morning here, but
Yeah, I'm going to go and spin the beam, guys. If you listen to this guy, I bet he comes up. Just, I'll leave the radio running. I'm going to spin the beam.
Nice bright sunshine. We've had some killer heat waves over here, as you've heard from some of the prior stations that you've worked. But yesterday and cool, and today it looks like it's going to be another cool day. I mean, it's only 19 degrees centigrade right now, and I think when I woke up this morning, I think it was 14 degrees centigrade, so it's crazy weather, but a nice day nonetheless. QSL?
No, you stay there. I don't know if that guy's away now, but well, that's his point stateside. All these other stations, you can see that they're way down in the noise.
Very interesting. I like that story. I never heard exactly
Yep.
that division of the police there.
Let's see if we can get a clear spot. 18140. I wonder if that's in use. Let's see. Is the frequency in use, please? Mike 0 Oscar Papa X-ray. Is the frequency in use, please? Mike we'll 0 see if we can get some of our X-ray. People across the pond. CQDX, CQDX, CQDX. Mike 0 Oscar Papa X-ray. Mike 0 Oscar Papa X-ray. CQDX over. CQDX, CQDX, CQDX. Mike 0 Oscar Papa X-ray. Mike 0 Oscar Papa X-ray. CQDX over. CQDX, CQDX, CQDX. Just Mike 0 Oscar Papa X-ray. Mike 0 Oscar Papa X-ray. CQDX over. CQDX, CQDX, CQDX. Mike 0 Oscar Papa X-ray. Mike 0 Oscar Papa X-ray. CQDX over. CQDX, CQDX, CQDX. Mike 0 Oscar Papa X-ray. Mike 0 Oscar Papa X-ray. CQDX over. CQDX, CQDX, CQDX. Mike 0 Oscar Papa X-ray. Mike 0 Oscar Papa X-ray. CQDX over. CQDX, CQDX, CQDX. Mike 0 Oscar Papa X-ray. Mike 0 Oscar Papa X-ray. CQDX over. Oh.
CQDX, 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 Mike 0, Oscar, Papa X-ray. Mike 0, Oscar, Papa X-ray, CQDX, over.
Was it Echo Alpha 7 Lima Foxtrot Echo? Yeah, okay, I think I got the call. Echo Alpha 7, Lima Fox Echo. Thanks for the 5, and I think you says there was a 5 and 5 or 5 and 7. But you're about a 5 and 5 here, 5 and 5 here, over.
Roger, Colin, you're coming 55, beautiful 55 down here in southern Spain. Name on this side is Evo, India, Victor, Oscar, Roger?
Yeah, Roger, Evo. You came up that time, but 5 and 7, 5 and 8 on that last over. I've got the beams, actually. You're actually on the back of the beam. I'm pointing stateside at the minute, so chances are you would be well over S9 because there's probably about 15 to 20 front to back, but sounding good, Evo. EA7 LFE MM0 OPX. Thanks, Jerry. Thanks, Evo. Bye-bye. QRZ, MM0 OPX.
CQ, Mike 0, Oscar, Papa X-ray. Mike 0, Oscar, Papa X-ray, CQ, over.
Sort your name, Jerry. Apologies with a G.
CQ.
Yeah, we'll put a few calls here.
Oscar, Papa X-ray.
I'm using SDR Switch, Andy, so it's N2EME, SDRSwitch.com.
Mike 0, Oscar. CQDX, Mike 0, Oscar, Papa X-ray. Mike 0, Oscar, Papa X-ray, CQDX, over.
And it actually seems to be, even though there's obviously a relays in it, Andy, it seems to be really quick at changing, even up to about 30 words a minute. It switches fine on CW, so I'd certainly recommend it. And the loss is negligible.
CQDX, Mike 0, Oscar, Papa X-ray. Mike 0, Oscar, Papa X-ray, CQDX, over.
See ya. Roger, Jerry.
CQDX, Mike 0, Oscar, Papa X-ray. Mike 0, Oscar, Papa X-ray, CQDX, over. CQ, Mike 0, Oscar, Papa X-ray. Mike 0, Oscar, Papa X-ray, CQ, over.
Yeah, you're too much down in the noise, I'm afraid. I can hear someone there, but just too low. Sorry.
CQ, Mike 0, Oscar, Papa X-ray. Mike
Pretty sure
0,
I would have got that guy in the States.
Papa X-ray, CQ, over. CQDX, Mike 0, Oscar, Papa X-ray. Mike 0, Oscar, Papa X-ray, CQDX, over.
Absolutely, Andy. And that's one of the things that Paul's done that, because I'm running a bit of power here, and you can see what's coming back. It's nothing. Somebody did comment on my video last night that there's only about 50 dB of attenuation, but I think that's nonsense. There's a lot more than that on this.
CQDX, Mike 0, Oscar, Papa X-ray. Mike 0, Oscar, Papa X-ray, CQDX, over. CQDX, Mike 0, Oscar, Papa X-ray. Mike 0, Oscar, Papa X-ray, CQDX, over. CQDX, 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 Mike 0, Oscar, Papa X-ray, Mike 0, Oscar, Papa X-ray, CQDX over. CQDX, 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 Mike 0, Oscar, Papa
I wonder
X-ray.
what 15's like, probably full of the contest.
Oscar, Papa X-ray, CQDX over. CQDX, CQDX,
Couple more calls.
CQDX, Mike 0, Oscar, Papa X-ray, Mike 0, Oscar, Papa X-ray, CQDX
It's cooking
over.
in this room here, so I can't open the windows because we've got wasps outside that have just been treated and they're going nuts.
CQDX, 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 Mike 0, Oscar, Papa X-ray, Mike 0, Oscar, Papa X-ray, CQDX over. CQDX, 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 Mike 0, Oscar, Papa X-ray, Mike 0, Oscar, Papa X-ray, CQDX over.
Couple more calls.
CQDX, 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 Mike 0, Oscar, Papa X-ray, Mike 0, Oscar, Papa X-ray, CQDX over. CQDX, 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 Mike 0, Oscar, Papa X-ray, Mike 0, Oscar, Papa X-ray, CQDX over.
Hotel Bravo 9.
Have a look at 15. "15 is quiet. There's a few there. Absolutely, Andy. I dropped me an email, and we could do that. I don't know what's best for VE1, but we could look at vocap and see what gives us our best chance of making the QSO bit with you. On the East Coast, it should be okay.
5151.
Contest. Let's try 12. 10.
CQ contest, Sugar 50 Romeo.
I've got a little bit of noise on this band, but what happens when you live in suburbia? And I'm certainly not going to 20. That's a bear pit. That's a bear pit. But no, when you get your antenna up, Andy, drop me a mail, and we'll get something arranged. Yeah, I think we'll call it a day, guys. I'll just mute the radio here. No, that was good, guys. Enjoyed that. If there wasn't that contest on, when I wanted to stream there, the contest hadn't started, and then just before I went live, the band blew up, and then I checked the contest calendar and I could see. But never mind, just the way that it is. Some good fun anyway, and I just wanted to test the equipment. This is actually the first time I've run the hex beam and the doublet side by side, so that was all good. Switching was all good. The voice keyer was working okay. Amplifier all playing ball, so seems to be pretty automatic. So thanks for watching, guys. That was good, and yeah, hopefully we'll get maybe another one in the not too distant future. I've got a few videos to make, so I want to get the one made with the 7:1. I need to get that made. People have been asking for that. So anyway, all right, guys, I'll catch you soon. 73 for now. All the best. Cheers, Andy, and two Andys actually, Andy and Andy. I'll just hit the right button here to stop streaming.